Let's do the letter F. It starts the same way that so many other letters start, with this little S curve way at the top, starting a little bit down from the top line, go up, hit the top line, come down, and then come back up again and end at the top line. Second stroke, also very typical. Straight down, straight, straight, straight as you can make it, stopping about 1/3 of the way from the bottom and hooking off to the left. Now, the next stroke is one, if you're doing this in alphabetical order, that we haven't seen before. I counted this particular stroke shows up in 7 different letters. They are, what, some of them there, F, H, I, K, M, N, R. I think that's all of them. Doesn't matter. It's a stroke that we're going to see 7 different times, and it's different if you're going in alphabetical order than one we've seen before. We do, starting down here at the bottom, we do an S curve, but the placement and termination of it is quite important. So I'm going to give you a little word picture to help you. Start at the baseline, curve up, and then down, and then up again. Don't go any further than that. Don't begin curving back the other way. Just leave it as a simple S curve. And here's, if you will, what I want you to see. This is quite important. I want you to visualize this space in here as sort of a, if you will, a cartoony smiley face. Okay? Do you see that smile? That shape right there? That shape is what you're going to be looking for. So let me draw this letter again. Curve, curve, curve. Straight. Come on, Dan, make it straight. There we go. 1/3 of the way down. Hook over. And then this, now what I'm visualizing here, what I want to see is this, what I'm calling, I mean, you could call it a, you know, a kitten's bowl full of water, milk, whatever, but to me it looks like a smile. And I'm making sure that the curve that I draw transcribes, goes along the edge of that. Here's why. Because the next stroke that we draw is starting at the top, comes down, straight, 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 all the way until it intersects that curve. Do you see that? This structure right here, we haven't seen yet if you're going in alphabetical order, but it shows up, as I said, in about 7 letters, so 7 of the letters. So you end up with this, what I call a cartoon smile-shaped space right there. Got it? The rest of the letter is pretty straightforward. The top is just like a capital E, a fairly long curve, then a short curve. And here's something else that we haven't seen before. Those same 7 letters that have this particular structure in them have this particular structure, and that is, I put my pen in the number 1 position. You know what I'm talking about, right? Number 1 right there, vertical, straight up and down, and come down from this curve all the way to the baseline. Pick up my pen and then add a diamond. That's just the best way to put it. Hold your pen at the traditional angle, and you're going to draw a diamond at the bottom of that. So there are 7 letters that have this structure, that have this diamond at the end of the vertical and have this smile. They all go together. And then the 2 hooks are the same as any other letter right there, about 1 nib width in between them. Let me do that letter again without nearly so much talking. Curve, 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 stop, straight, straight, 1/3 hook. Now I'm looking at the negative space here. I'm focusing on this and trying to scribe that curve just like that. But I don't go any further than that because the next stroke will meet it perfectly if you leave it just like that. And all the way down and meet like that. Isn't that pretty? And then up at the top, a long curve, a short curve, a vertical, all the way to the baseline, or very near the baseline, because the diamond shape can intersect, or actually go just a little bit below the baseline. And then the 2 hooks on the side, and that is one fine looking F. Let's do it with a pen. I'm using a Speedball C1. It's a fairly large Speedball pen. And here are my guidelines for a capital letter with a Speedball pen. Curve, 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 stop, straight, 1/3, hook over, looking for that smile space, curve, curve, stop, back to the top, straight down, till it meets that curve perfectly. Long curve, straight angle, short curve, vertical, and a diamond. One stroke does the diamond. Then my hooks, and I'm all done. Let me try that just one more time, fairly quickly, which also means that it may not be quite as neat, but I want you just to draw it, do it with me, and just watch the formation one more time. S-curve, straight down, hook, S-curve, stop, back to the top, straight down till it intersects that, long curve, short curve, vertical stroke, holding my pen at a number 1 angle with a diamond, and then my 2 hooks. And as I thought, that's a fairly messy F, but it's good enough for instructional purposes. I hope you feel instructed. Now let me do lowercase f. Pretty straightforward, not as fancy as some lowercase f's are in other calligraphic fonts. Here's my X height for this tool. That means I have an extender, an ascender, so my F will actually start about there with an angle. I'm holding my pen at the 3 and a scrunch angle. That's the technical term, 3 and just a bit, right there, right? Then straight, almost to the bottom, and then add probably an elongated diamond. If this is a regular diamond, this is a long diamond. Do you see the difference? That one's a square, if you will. This one's longer, and this one, I think on an F, should be a little bit long. Back to the top, we add a flag, a little bit more of a flag than perhaps I did on some of the other letters, like the letter B. The F has a very traditional fold-over hook flag at the top. Now, the crossbar, the cross beam in the middle of the F, make it the width that you like. I think I want to hold my pen at just shy of perfectly horizontal, so about a 4.5, maybe a little past 4.5, and that stroke appears right at the header line. You see that? Okay, I'm going to go straight to pen because I think that was clear enough. I often have a piece of scrap paper here to make sure that my pen doesn't have too much ink in it. And here's my guideline for the lowercase with this tool. Holding my pen at the traditional angle, starting above, it's an ascender, starting above the header line, straight down, almost to the base, then adding a little bit of a long diamond there, and likewise a long diamond up here, and then the cross beam right about there. Okay, let me do that one more time, this time adding the little hangnails, tiny, tiny little hooks to this to make it look just a little bit more Gothic-ish. Too much ink. Let me do that again. Here we go. There we go. And then this time, you see, instead of making my stroke right at the end, I leave a little tiny bit of almost a serif there. Not quite. Same thing down here. Little bit of a hangnail. And same thing here. Come out just a little bit, and then that toe. And then my crossbeam, I'm going to lower it a little bit so I'm not interfering with the hangnail that I left there. Good enough? That's the letter F. I'm having fun, and I hope that you are. Let's keep going.